I gotta be honest. Before I even sat down here and even hit the record button, I had to think long and hard about what I was gonna say for this video. Because I know for a fact that if I say stuff in the heat of the moment, or if I come on here and tell it like it is, I'm gonna get one of two things in my comment section. I'm either gonna get people that completely agree with me, but those people literally have nothing good to say as far as the remainder of the season goes, or I'm gonna get the butthurt fans in my comments that say stuff like, "Oh, you're just being negative again. Oh, what are you complaining about? They're still 10-5 on the season. They're still in first place. You say this every time the Steelers lose. You just have an agenda with them, with no in between." And you know what that tells me? It tells me that I'm being 100% unbiased with this team right now. And all I can say is that I am just so glad that this atrocity is over with and I can move on. I can make my preview tomorrow for the Chiefs game, and then this nightmare of a three game stretch in 10 days can finally come to an end. But let's get on to this recap. Good Saturday evening, everybody. I am Mac, back with another video. As always, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, follow on Instagram. Link is down in the box below. Yes, as you can tell by the tone of my voice, I'm not too thrilled about this game. As a matter of fact, there are so many things that I want to say right now that I am thinking, but if I say them, I'm probably going to get demonetized. But whatever. 34-17. Steelers with a terrible loss tonight in Baltimore. And this is exactly what I was afraid was going to happen, to be 100% honest. It really was. I was afraid that the morale of this team and the composure of this team would be lost and it would be carried over from the Philly game going into this game. And that seemed to be the case. But I'll say this in regards to the final score. Don't let that final score fool you, because you look at the final and you're like, well, the Steelers just got their asses kicked. The Steelers had no chance in this game whatsoever. They got completely demolished. This is why I sit down here and I'm always an advocate of scores and statistics don't tell the whole story, okay? Because, like I said, 34-17, that suggests that we got blown out and we got dominated in this game, which is kind of true. But this was a close game. This was a way closer game than you think it was until one play happened that was eerily similar to last week that completely sucked the life and the momentum out of this team. And before you knew it, they had nothing left. And I think you know what I'm going to get into. So I've sat down here and I've said Russell Wilson played well. And I've said that Russell Wilson can be the engineer of the offense and he can conduct this offense and it's his time to shine. And I understand that George Pickens missed this game once again. And I understand that we also were down a few other key starters like Deshaun Elliott, like Larry Ogunjobi, like Dante Jackson in this game as well. So, yes, I mean, I know it's easy to throw the injuries and just call it off as a day like that and say, oh, well, this team's still in the playoffs and we still have a slight lead over the Ravens in the AFC North. Yes, that much is true. But here's the fact. The offense, for what it was worth, moved okay. Like, you saw the offense making some plays and extending some drives and making some big plays at times and chewing up some clock and making big connections. but they didn't do as much as they should have. And you know what? I'm putting this one on Russ. Now, to be fair to Russ, he did okay. Like I said, he did okay. Nothing great, but he did okay. But two boneheaded moves by him cost us this game tonight. Bonehead move number one, it came in the second quarter where it was tied at 7 and the Steelers were driving. You got a nice drive going there in the second quarter, and Russ picks up a first down with his legs. The Steelers got a great block on the O-line right there. Like a huge opening lane for Russ to pick up a first down. Couldn't find anybody. So I applaud both the O-line and Russ for being able to make a play on it right there. But Russ, how many years have you been in the league, Russ? You've been in the league 12 years now. Why are you going up against a defensive player at the goal line like that? At that point, when you're at the goal line and it sets your team up to score a touchdown, you give yourself up there and you take your chances at the goal line. No, instead, Russ focuses on trying to score a touchdown there. He gets whacked, ball pops out, Ravens recover it. And immediately following that, they march right down the field, 97 yards, and a touchdown pass to Lamar Jackson to Rashad Bateman put the Ravens ahead 14-7. A 97-yard drive the defense gave up because our quarterback fumbled the ball idiotically at the goal line when he should have just gave himself up and set the team up for a chance to score in the red zone right there. Terrible move by Russ right there. Absolutely terrible. But the ultimate backbreaker in this game, I think, is the one that everybody can agree with. Fourth quarter, after the defense gives up a huge play to Derrick Henry, who destroyed this defense tonight, by the way. Okay. We contained Derrick Henry in the first game. We even forced him to fumble in the first game. But tonight, oh man, he looked like MVP Derrick Henry against us tonight. Anyway, defense gives up a big play from Derrick Henry on a boneheaded play call on fourth down from the play prior, which I'll be getting into in a minute. And Minkah comes up with a great interception. Great pick by Minkah Fitzpatrick, who's been pedestrian all year, and he was pedestrian in this game too outside of that interception. Returned at 40-something yards. And you're thinking, my goodness, it's 24-17. Yeah, we're trailing. Yeah, the defense has been awful in the second half, or at least in the fourth quarter. But, oh my God, we can come back and win this game. What does Russell Wilson do? Gives the ball right back to them. Tries to squeeze it into Freiermuth, and he threw it right to Marlon Humphrey, and he took it to the house for a pick six. Ball game. Ball game. That's why I say I'm putting blame on Russ for this game. Is he the whole reason we lost this game? No. But he is definitely part of the reason why. And yes, do I still like Russ? Yes, I do. Do I still think that he is the quarterback of this team for the final 2 weeks and the playoffs? Yes. But you see, crap like that is what's going to cost us to go one and done. If your quarterback and your leader of the team is out there making stupid mistakes that takes momentum away from your team like that, you ain't going to go far against anybody. I don't care who it's against. It could be against his old team in Denver, who gave up 24 points to the Chargers the other night after having an 11-point lead. It could be against the Chargers themselves. It could be against the Bengals if somehow, some way they get in the playoffs. It doesn't matter. You cannot make those types of plays. You just can't. And that's what pissed me off about this game. The defense not being able to stop Derrick Henry, understandable because, like I said, I mean, not that I'm giving him a pass or anything. It's just I understand it because Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry, number one. And number two, we were down starters in this game as well. But still, there were moments where the defense found a groove. There were moments where the defense were able to make some stops and the Ravens were threatening. And we even forced the Ravens to fumble a couple of times as well. But unlike the last game where the Steelers got all the bounces, this time it was the total opposite. Baltimore recovered all the fumbles. It's just that it was a terrible time to implode like that. Terrible. And I hope Mike Tomlin has this type of fire right now, okay? Because these are two bad losses that you've had in a row where you've lost by double digits. When before, you hadn't had a double-digit loss all season, and you can look back at the Philly game as just being that one really bad loss. But now you get whacked by your arch rival, and I hate losing to the Ravens, man. I friggin' hate losing to the Ravens. It's on the same level as how much I hate losing to the St. Louis Cardinals, and how much I hate losing to the Philadelphia Flyers. The Ravens are right there. But I hope Tomlin, for his sake, he has this kind of fire that I have right now, because now you're on 4 days rest and you're coming back home for the final two games of the season playing Kansas City and Cincinnati. You know, just awful. Awful way to lose this game. So it was 7-0 Ravens after the first quarter when they had a fake toss touchdown pass. Lamar Jackson found Isaiah Likely. And, you know, to close out the first quarter, like I said, the offense did move the ball well, or they moved the ball okay, all things considered. The Steelers put together a decent drive to close out the first quarter, and they got the ball to the goal line, ended up getting a touchdown on that. I mean, you better get a touchdown out of that. You're at the opponent's goal line right there. And they did. Russell Wilson found McCole Pruitt. Those are the names that we're going to have to be saying until George Pickens gets back on this offense. He found McCole Pruitt to tie the game at 7. And it would be 17-7 Ravens at halftime because, like I said, the fumble that Russ had, Baltimore cashed in on it, and then Justin Tucker amazingly hit a field goal from 50-plus when he missed 3 kicks against us in the first game. So we're down 17-7 at halftime. And it's like, all right, well, we had a rough first half. There's still time to get this turned around when you really think about it. So it's not the end of the world. Well, it was 17-10. I'm sorry. Boswell, you can always count on him to make a lengthy field goal. He hit one from 51 too. It was 17-10 Ravens at halftime. And then, like I said, we eventually tied the game up. On a nice drive. Amazing catch by CA3. I will give CA3 credit. He did step up in this game quite a bit. He had some nice catches. He had an amazing catch in the third quarter where he was toe dragging his feet and he was able to stay in on the right sideline. Great play by CA3. He continues to run some crisp routes. He continues to have speed make the difference. So a great play by him right there. I'm thankful that he's at least trying to take the reins for the time that George Pickens is absent. Hopefully he can play on Wednesday. That would be a Christmas gift to all of Steeler Nation right here. Okay. And then, like I said, we tied the game up. As Russ found Cordell Patterson in the end zone. Great catch by Cordell Patterson, holding the ball over his head. Great concentration as he was falling down, making the play. And we're tied up. And it's like, okay, here we go. We're starting to get things going on offense a little bit. We're starting to get some spark back. We're starting to get some momentum back. Couple of nice stops by the Steelers. And it's like, okay, we still have a shot at this thing. Boswell kicks the ball out of bounds on the ensuing kickoff. Ravens once again march right down the field, take a 24-17 lead on a terrible miscommunication in the end zone, and it's 24-17. And that's all the defense gave up. We gave up 24 points on defense tonight because, like I said, the pick six. Oh, but let's talk about what happened before that, though, okay? How about on fourth down? What is it with this team and this coaching staff making the most asinine decisions on fourth down? Because if you remember last week against Philly, we had it at 4th and 7 at midfield, and we decided to punt with 10 and a half minutes to go, decided to punt down 14 points. Didn't see the ball for the rest of the game. That's right. Philly drowned out the clock for 10 and a half friggin' minutes after we punted. Like, are you afraid that you can't get 7 yards? What's the deal? But tonight, the Steelers did go for it on 4th and it was 4th and 6. Steelers did go for it. Now, I agree. Going for it on 4th and 6 right there. You're in 4-down territory. I agree with the aggression right there. You're trying to get back in the game. I agree with the aggression and the decision right there. It's the friggin' execution. You need 6 yards. Get a first down. Worry about the touchdown later. So why are you throwing a home run pass on 4th and 6? On a play that should have been picked off, by the way? Why are you gunning it downfield on 4th and 6 when all you need is a first down? Somebody run a slant right there or something. Someone run a fade. Someone go to the flat or something. Hell, why don't you line up Darnell Washington as a blocker, for God's sake? And how about you attack in the middle with Muth and pick up a first down and worry about the touchdown later? That's what I think it is with Russ. He's worried about trying to score a touchdown instead of just making a play and setting up the team. Overthinking it, overanalyzing it. That's what the Steelers did in this game tonight. Just awful. And then, like I said, the other BS that happened after that, where the defense gave up that big play to Derrick Henry, and then followed that up with Minka's pick, and then Russ giving the ball right back to the Ravens. Just an awful way to lose the game. The Steelers had no life after that pick six, and that was from Russell Wilson, who had been consistent and who had been mistake-free this season. It's not that he threw the pick six, it's when he threw it. You could not have picked a worse time to do that. And as for the defense, like I said, I know Lamar Jackson statistically had he already clinched having the best season of his career. And I think this game definitely justifies Ravens fans' cases of him winning MVP for the 3rd time in his career. I mean, the guy has 37 touchdown passes and 4 picks. So I think this game absolutely justifies that. So it's going to be real close between him and Josh Allen, in my opinion. But don't rule out Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley. That's just my honest opinion right there. But yeah, Lamar Jackson was on tonight. We had no answer for him. The pass defense suffered once again. Deshaun Elliott's absence greatly missed. He's just been such a great playmaker for this defense right here. Play after play, tackle after tackle. I mean, the fact is that we had the formula to stop Lamar Jackson, because how do you stop him is that you got one guy chasing him and you have another guy acting as a spy watching him across the middle the whole time. So it's like the Steelers had that game plan to stop Lamar. It's that Lamar finally found a way to break free of that, you know? And the fact that DeMonte Kazee is trying to cover Rashad Bateman one-on-one. Same thing with Beanie Bishop, who couldn't even friggin' finish a tackle on, I think it was Zay Flowers. First of all, why is Beanie Bishop in coverage to begin with? Has he proved to us that he's a good coverage safety? Has he proved to us that he can play one-on-one real well? No. I know he's an undrafted rookie, but why is he going one-on-one right there? You just couldn't have picked a worse game to have it at. Which leads me to saying this as I'm trying to calm down a little bit because I am pretty upset about this loss right here. Because, like I said, last week, you probably could have just brushed off the Philly loss as just being that really bad game. But this game right here, where all you had to do was win and clinch the division, and even if you came away with a loss, could you at least have looked competent with the loss? And that's the thing. I've been saying all year this team is different. I've been saying all year, and I'm certainly not trying to say that the season's over. I'm certainly not trying to say that we don't have a shot. But now we've lost 2 games in this 3-game stretch in 10 days. We've already lost 2 of them. God forbid we go 0-3. So, look, I'm not trying to say the season's over. I'm not trying to say that, we don't have a chance against Kansas City and we don't have a chance in the playoffs. Because, as I said in the beginning, I am one of the more optimistic Steeler fans on this platform. I'm one of the more, let's say, like I said, one of the more unbiased Steeler fans on this platform here. But a loss like this is absolutely degrading. And it's really given me, 2020 vibes with this team right now. These past 2 games have really given me 2020 vibes. I hate to say it about this particular team right here, but I'd be lying to you if I didn't say it. This has really given me 2020 vibes, minus the 11-0 record that we had through 12 weeks. It really is. Because what happened in 2020? We suffered a bad loss to Washington, and then we had 2 back-to-back losses by double digits. We had a win, and then we lost in Cleveland, which is whatever. And then in the playoffs, we got blown out by the Browns. And what's happened this season so far? Okay, 3 losses is, 3 losses, all of them in the single digits, all of them by 1 score. You can live with that. But these 2 losses to Philly and Baltimore, who are eerily similar teams, and you lose to them by double digits, this is the first losing streak that we've had all season. Look, I'm not trying to overreact about a losing streak, but if you're a Steeler fan, how can you not get upset about this? How? I know we were injured. I know that we don't have players in. I know that, if we were healthy in this game, we could have looked a little bit better in the loss. And I know, like I said, the score's misleading because it was closer than you think. It was the boneheaded pick 6 and the fumble by Russ and the long shot on 4th and 6, in my opinion, that just stabbed us in this game. And, of course, the defense just collapsing. Whatever. There's a lot of things. Even Chris Boswell kicking the ball out of bounds, if you want to say that, doing his best John Casey impression in Super Bowl 38. I love you, Bos, but I mean, what the hell, man? It was a total team letdown. But if you're a Steeler fan, how can you not get upset about this? How can this not concern you? So my hope is this. My hope is that Pickens is okay to go for Wednesday and that Deshaun Elliott is okay to go as well. That is my hope. Will it happen? We'll see about it, but that is my hope. And if not that game, week 18. Those are the guys that we really need for the next couple weeks. TJ being back on the field, great. But the fact is, guys, we need Pickens and we need run stuffers more than TJ at this point. Fortunately, Kansas City's a team that doesn't run the ball very often. Okay? And I'll get more into that in my Chiefs preview that I hope to have tomorrow. Okay? But you cannot have those stupid mistakes in this game. You just can't. You know, we can still clinch the division in the next 2 weeks because, like I said, we have a better conference record than the Ravens right now, so we're still slightly ahead of them. So you still have a chance to lock up the division in the next 2 weeks, get it done, iron out the flaws, and get healthy too. This was a bad loss by the Steelers tonight. A very bad loss. So hopefully we can wash the bad taste out of our mouths and we can move on from there. But, man, not a happy camper tonight. Not a happy camper. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Mac, checking on out for the night. Have a good one, everybody.